All right. I think we're live. Had some issues with the restream broadcast, but Eric, can you hear me?
I can hear you on both sides, both the Zoom and the X Space. So I guess we're live. Welcome, everyone.
Um, yeah, I think we're good. You're a little quiet on the X space. I don't know if that's just me. Try talking again.
Okay, yeah, I think probably it's you. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, now we're good. All right, sweet. All right. So Threadcast is going, streams in all the places. Let's see here. I need to change my background. And I'm going to, you guys like when we edit in the YouTube link, so I'll do that quick. So that is now done. Sweet. I think we're good to go. Cool. Well, we're gonna keep going with the theme that we kind of started with last week, which is just to do a little bit faster paced AMAs, and keep things on a little bit of a tighter schedule just to make it more interesting and not drag it out. And I think we are trying to appeal to a little bit of a larger audience as well, even though these are pretty internal focused. But quick five
Yes, I
minutes.
know.
What's that?
Yeah, that I know you guys are hardcore. I want to know everything about INLEO, but we have to keep this rookie friendly. So I think in
Rookie
50
friendly.
minutes, 1 hour, so that people just and of course we're gonna do some shields and we're gonna explain, even if you already know what INLEO is, we might do some explanations between questions and all of that because we are in the end appealing to like Hal said, we are appealing to a bigger audience. So I mean, and that's the whole point
Definitely.
of the X spaces, right? Otherwise, we would do them on Telegram, on Discord, or on Discord, where our community already resides. So let's go.
Definitely. Yeah, and Anderson already said October. Let's jump on the moon rockets. So crypto, Bitcoin's down 1%. Let's do a quick 5 minute overview of the market before Taskmaster yells at us about talking about the markets. So Bitcoin down 1%. ETH is down 3%. So generally the market is a little red today, not too bad. Um, but yeah, we kind of had like a turnaround September. Uh, we had a turnaround September, and then everyone basically is talking about how it's going to be October. So I think like five of the last bull markets were started in October. So, I think a lot of people are looking to October as being like this kind of key month, especially with rate cuts just starting. So, I think it's kind of hard to say what exactly will happen. But I'm pretty confident. I've been kind of playing to this longer term narrative that the end of this year was going to start to be pretty positive, mainly because of the rate cuts. And then obviously you've got the Bitcoin halving kind of maturing, even though I think that the Bitcoin halving has a little bit of a less of an impact than it used to. So that all being said, I'm generally pretty bullish on October, for the broader crypto markets and TradFi. So my portfolio is pretty long right now, I would say. Um, and I've been talking about this Bitcoin ETH trade a little bit, but I've been converting some Bitcoin into Ethereum, dollar cost averaging from my Bitcoin position into Ethereum. And big reason for that is I think ETH is just kind of underperforming relative to Bitcoin. The whole alt market really is, but Ethereum especially, and there's been some negative sentiment around it. I wrote a blog post a couple weeks ago talking about that, but um, to tie that in, I will tie that into the launch of creator subscriptions, as we get through this episode. But Eric, what are your takes on the current state of the market?
This is going to be like no other October. You know, people were saying that September was going to be a bloodbath and that we should just hold on to our positions and not sell, not panic sell, and that October would be green because that's what history tells us. But then again, September was not that bleedy, you know. It was, I would say it just went right like the past 6 months have been choppy and you know boring, like looking at a wall. But at the same time, I think people were expecting much more uh blood. They were expecting Bitcoin to drop more, their alts to bleed more, even though some of them cannot even bleed anymore. But it didn't happen. And then a lot of people, well, the whole narrative on X is about October being pumped over. So I don't really know if we should expect a green October. I mean, yes, of course, it's historically it has been the best, well, one of the best months or of the beginning of the bull market. But I wouldn't count on it. This cycle has been completely different than any other cycle. We broke all-time high before the how what was it? Right before the halvening, we were touching all-time highs, right? We touched 74. I think we surpassed it, and then we halved, and then people expect that between 100 days to 250 days, we explode. But I'm not really sure. It's been already 6 months, right? So ah, anyone who tells you they're certain of what will happen, they have no idea, and they're just lying to get some clout. This Whoever wants to predict this cycle is going to get extremely disappointed. I think that the safe way to play this is just set your goals, realistic goals, leave some moonbags, and don't try to play the market because the market will outplay you.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think you kind of have to position yourself longer term, think longer term about it. That's kind of how I've been playing it as well. Um, and yeah, Suffolk for Trolls said, I agree with Eric. The big guys are going to play with us as much as they can. Yeah, I mean, you have to remember now there's a lot more capital in the industry. There's a lot more eyes on the industry. We've got the ETFs. I think at the end of the day, leave it to, bankers, traders, hedge funders who will try to find ways to manipulate the market and ultimately make a buck. So, we saw a huge kind of flash crash on August 1st. Um, and broadcast just crashed for me. Um, Speaking of crashes, we saw a flash crash on August 1st, this year, and I do think there's a lot of manipulation in the market. So you definitely need to, watch your leverage, watch your positions pretty closely, and just ultimately be careful. But to kind of tie that all into, creator subscriptions. So creator subscriptions are one of the most exciting features to me that we've been working on for a while. Um, there's a lot of reasons why I'm excited about it. A big one is obviously system income, which I've been talking about a lot lately. With a bull market, we want Leo to perform really well, and there's multiple reasons for that. Not just because price go up is fun, even though it is. There's other reasons too. It brings in a lot of new users. It brings in a lot of traction. We've seen that kind of play out throughout the cycles on the Hive blockchain as well. But when the token goes up, a lot of people start to flood the platform. So being that our goal is to grow the platform, from a macro perspective, the token price doing well is a good, is actually kind of like a built-in marketing tool. So with that, we need to build system income because the bull market in general is just going to carry us up. I mean, we've seen that happen. Like when Bitcoin was hitting all-time highs, I think Leo was like pushing 12 to 15 cents, and we're at 3 cents right now. So alts kind of had a little bit of a rise and fall. Nothing crazy like last time yet. But I do think an alt market kind of an alt season is coming. So not only but that being said, like, I don't want us to just sit around and wait for, the rest of the market to kind of carry us upwards. I think a much better strategy is building system income. If we can build especially in a bear market, if you can build a significant source or multiple sources, which is kind of what we're doing, of system income, then, when the market is low, you're buying back more of the token. So it's very important for the system income to be in place now and in the future. So that's what I'm very intensely focused on right now. And you're seeing a lot of altcoins kind of fade away and a lot of projects fade away and not do so well. And at the end of the day, a lot of it has to do with, bleeding out, because, devs can't afford to just keep deving forever with no income. And then if they have to, kind of dip into the token in order to fund themselves, then it creates a kind of death spiral scenario for many different projects and ecosystems. So, that's been a pretty intense focus of mine between premium, Leo ads and creator subscriptions. So with creator subscriptions, I've talked a little bit about how it works. Today is going to be the launch day for it. I was trying to get it out before we jumped on the live stream, but I think it'll be out, after we get off of this. So that it'll give us some good time to kind of talk about what it is, all the things that are coming today with the launch, and some of the things that are going to launch in the future. And with creator subscriptions, I think really the key is, and I've seen a few different, I've seen some people that are really excited about it. I see some people that think it's not going to be, a huge event. But at the end of the day, Ahmad Maga said, will the release date for creator subscriptions be announced today? No, it's launching today. So, yeah, it's going to launch today. And, it's really the success of it is up to you guys, because at the end of the day, like, a creator subscription is really all about, can you as a creator convince your audience that you can provide extra value behind a $5 paywall. So a creator subscription is a $5 a month subscription to other creators. And so for example, Taskmaster can launch a $5 subscription, and then you'll be able to subscribe to him, pay five HBD per month. And in doing that, you get access to paywall content, and Taskmaster can decide which content to paywall. So, there's some really important aspects of that. But at the end of the day, it's like, can Taskmaster convince his audience that he's offering, more than $5 worth of value behind this paywall? And at launch, there's going to be blog posts and threads. So you'll be able to do encrypted blogs and encrypted threads behind this paywall to your audience, and only your subscribers can see whatever you choose to be encrypted. So there's a new toggle. There's a new toggle on both the /publish page and the threads page, where you can decide if you want it to be subscriber only or public, which is public is just the way it works now. So basically, there's just a new option, subscriber only, if you want to put it behind the paywall, and that goes for threads and blog posts. So this offers a Substack-like feature. It also offers a Patreon-like feature. So, the Substack part of it is like a journalist now can come onto INLEO and start writing, a weekly newsletter and put it behind a $5 a month paywall, and do that either in addition to also doing free content or no free content. I mean, you don't have to do free content. So we've put the tool in place, and now you can figure out however you want to use it. So that's why I also say that it's kind of like a Patreon-like feature as well, because I'm actually talking to a few different projects, and at HiveFest, I was talking to the Hive Borehole project, that we built this payment rail and this ability to pay, a recurring payment to a creator. But at the end of the day, like, you could also just use it as a donation service. So for example, like the Hive Borehole project, they can launch a creator subscription, and they could accept, 5 HBD a month through that to support the project. And they can either offer, some private extra, behind the scenes looks at what they're doing, or they don't even have to post anything. It's completely up to them and how their relationship with their audience and the expectations are set. So, with creator subscriptions, it's really about setting an expectation with your audience of what you're providing for that $5, and then, convincing them that it's worthwhile for them. So as a donation, for Hive Borehole, they say, okay, well, we want to get $5 a month from, each of our subscribers, and then your donation is going towards, X, Y, and Z part of the project. And that's totally fine. They don't have to post anything. So I think at the end of the day, and I saw some threads where people were saying that they think this is really cool, but they don't know that many people are going to use it. And my reply is, it's up to you guys to figure out a creative way to use it and to convince people that it's worth subscribing to you for that purpose. So, at the end of the day, like this is a tool and you can use it however you want to use it. And I think that if you think it's not going to get a lot of usage, then you probably just haven't thought of creative ways to use it and how to bring people in. Taskmaster said, be consistent, build a library of content, have some expertise. Yeah, 100%. I mean, imagine if, just think of your favorite creator on the internet. I mean, we all have different, different influencers and creators that we follow. But think about your favorite creator, coming onto the platform and, offering some sort of paywalled content that you'd be interested in. So, let's just say you're a fan of like the Joe Rogan podcast. And let's say that he did like an extra podcast a week, but he put it behind a paywall and you had to pay 5 HBD a month in order to see that extra podcast. So if you're a huge fan of Joe Rogan, and you think his podcasts have a lot of value, then he may start paywalling, one of the podcasts a week. And now you have a pretty deeply entrenched incentive to subscribe and get that extra podcast. And then you also know that you're supporting him as a creator, and his ability to continue making podcasts and to make them better in the future. So, that's really the key here is, build a brand and then monetize your brand. We're actually just adding in what Web 2 already has and has built in a big way, which is that you build a brand and then you monetize the brand. On Hive, we've all gotten very accustomed to, we join the platform and we immediately start earning crypto. We start earning upvotes on our posts, which is not how Web 2 works. It's not that that's wrong. It's just that this is a Web 2 approach, but now we're bringing it into Web 3 as well. So I think this is huge. I was talking to somebody, Instagram actually launched kind of a similar creator subscription service recently. And there's people that are now posting. So I was talking to someone who, there's someone that has a business and people ask them all the time, can you give me advice on how to do a similar business? So he started posting on Instagram and he created a creator subscription on Instagram where you can now subscribe and, and essentially get a behind the scenes kind of like business tutorials on, how he's built his business and all the different tactics he uses on a regular basis. And he puts it behind the paywall and then people subscribe and pay him every month in order to get access to that content. So, one thing I was saying is like, why would someone like that actually come to INLEO and say, let me put the subscription service here, either in addition to what I'm doing over on Instagram or as a replacement? And my argument is do it in addition to what you're already doing on Instagram. So you can just literally copy and paste the same private content from Instagram and then put it on INLEO. But the reason why you might drive people to subscribe to you on INLEO versus Instagram is that one, the fees are lower. So the percent cut that goes to the Leo token is lower than it is on Instagram. I don't know what they're charging. But like Instagram, Substack, Patreon, they all tend to charge a pretty high percentage. I forgot what OnlyFans is. I think someone told me it was like 30% or something that OnlyFans takes. So just imagine that they take a pretty large material percentage on creator subscriptions on INLEO. We take a smaller percentage, and then you're also getting paid in crypto. So you're getting paid with HBD as opposed to getting paid with dollars. So one thing I was talking to Joel about at HiveFest is like he doesn't have a bank account and he doesn't want to do KYC and all that stuff with like TradFi. So one thing he's wanted to do is be able to monetize that, but not have to connect a bank account. And with Patreon or Substack, you have to connect a bank account in order to get paid. So you have to do KYC, you have to have a bank account, all that stuff. With creator subscriptions on INLEO, you don't need any of that. You're getting paid HBD. All you need is a Hive account. So there's that. There's a bunch of tax advantages, obviously, to that, depending on your jurisdiction and how you set things up. But at the end of the day, it's like I said, you're as a creator, you're keeping more of the money. So I think there's a huge incentive there for creators to actually tell people to subscribe to them on INLEO if the feature set is identical to a place like Instagram, especially if they're a crypto creator. But even if you're not a crypto creator, I think there's definitely a lot of purpose behind it. So, to just quickly touch on fees, since I mentioned it, the fee structure has 3 tiers. So if you have anywhere from 0 to 25 subscribers, the fee is 5% of your subscription. So for example, if someone subscribes to you for, it's all 5 HBD. So let's say someone subscribes to you, it's 5 HBD. You keep 95% of that as the creator. So that's $4.75. And then the 25 cents goes to Leo token buybacks. And you can actually see that in the Leo pool account. There's already been a few payments into the Leo pool account. So now, that 5% gets paid to Leo pool. When you get more than 25 subscribers, you get to the tier for 25 to 49 subscribers. The fee becomes 3%. So it drops from 5% to 3%. So now on each subscription, the Leo token takes 15 cents, and then you as the creator get to keep $4.85. And then after you get above 50, so it's the tier 2 is 25 to 49, and then tier 3 is the final tier. Anything over 50 subscribers, and the percent that goes to Leo is only 1%. So you as the creator keep 99% of the subscription payments. So as a creator, that means that for each $5 you get, you're keeping $4.95, and only 5 cents is going to the Leo pool account per subscription. So let's just say you have 50 subscribers. That would be $250 a month that gets paid from your subscribers in total. And then your take as the creator would be 99%. So you would keep $247.50 of the 250, and then the remaining $2.50 gets paid to Leo pool, which does the Leo token buybacks and then deploys it in the Leo Cacao pool permanently. So that's how the fees work on creator subscriptions. I know I kind of touched on that in a thread in the past, but there's been a lot of questions about that. But like, if you think about it, most successful creators are going to have well over 50 subscribers. So at 1% fees, I mean, that is like dirt cheap compared to other platforms. So I think that that's going to be a huge selling point for creator subscriptions relative to the broader market for like Patreon and Substack. Taskmaster said, threads being involved means that people have no excuse for regularly engaging with your audience. In fact, it's one of the things that sets it apart from Patreon and Substack. If you aren't threading with your subscribers, then you're failing. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of ways to engage. One of the future things that we're going to do is have encrypted messaging. So you'll be able to, if you're a subscriber of a creator, you'll be able to send private messages back and forth between the creator and the subscriber. And it'll still be all on chain and on platform. But it'll be like, DMing basically. But yeah, like threads are already there. So like subscribers can interact with your threads as a creator. So it's almost like you kind of already have the private messaging, but it's not exactly private. Like all the subscribers will be able to see the messaging between subscriber and creator. So yeah, having threads from the start is really cool. And like I said, we're working on videos. The workaround for videos is you can make private videos on YouTube and then copy the link and then post them in an encrypted thread or blog post and then share that. So there's kind of a workaround, and you can still do videos. Vic Van, I just went over all the percentages.
Yeah, literally a couple of minutes ago.
But yeah, you can watch the recording if you missed it. Self-help patrol said the fees are perfect, super reasonable, and attractive for creators since they pay for premium. It's fair to Leo too. Yeah, that's the other aspect of it, is to launch a creator subscription and maintain it. You actually have to be premium. So if your premium cancels, then your creator subscription actually cancels after 30 days. So you have to maintain a premium account on INLEO in order to have a creator subscription live. There's a few reasons for that. One is that it obviously adds a new benefit to being premium. It adds a new use case. The other one is that it kind of reduces system load and spam, because not anybody can launch a creator subscription. You have to actually kind of verify. So, like Elon is trying to do this whole thing to get rid of bots by having people verify and put their credit card in order to subscribe to premium, and then you can do all the extra features, and that's how he's planning on reducing the bot problem. We're kind of doing something similar, but obviously instead of putting in your credit card, you just have a Hive account and you just pay HBD, and that makes you premium, and then you're a verified user on INLEO.
Yeah.
Manga said the private messaging should be a feature that you can unlock or lock so creators don't get messages if they don't want any. Yeah, I mean it's kind of the same thing on X. Like you can
Yeah.
open the DMs or not. Like it's when someone DMs you and you haven't DM'd them before, it'll be under a separate tab that says message requests, or you might be familiar with that on Discord. So if someone just randomly DMs you out of the blue, like it won't just like show up and start bothering you like a text message. It'll be behind a separate tab, and then you get to choose if you want to see that or not. And then what we'll also do some stuff with you can turn on only allow DMs from verified users, which is premium users, or only allow DMs from people that follow you and or people that follow you and you follow them. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of tools for that in the future. Cell Phone Patrol said the network effect is our biggest challenge. Many people are hesitant to start a new platform, especially in a new monetary system. But the more well-rounded it is, the easier it'll be to break through. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Charlie Munger has a famous quote: "Show me the incentives, and I'll show you the outcome." So I'm a big believer in incentives driving the outcome. And like I said, one of the incentives is that the fees are very low. Another incentive is that it's all paid in crypto. And there's a lot of people that would rather get paid in crypto than get paid in a TradFi KYC bank account. So I think that there's a lot of benefits to doing it here as opposed to other platforms. Another big one, kind of a third major benefit for creators is that all of this stuff is on chain. So all of the private encrypted threads and blog posts are actually encrypted on the Hive blockchain. So even if like say Doomsday, like INLEO disappears, even Hive.blog, PeakD, all the interfaces disappear, as long as you can pull the blockchain data, which you can do by spinning up a Hive node or going to a Hive block explorer, you can punch in the the encrypted memo key, and you can decrypt all the private content that you ever posted. So the private content is actually getting posted to the blockchain in the encrypted format. And so you essentially you can't be banned. It adds the censorship resistance aspect, where like we've seen creators get banned on Patreon and Substack, and then they lose their entire database, of content that they've built up, because the platform decided that they didn't want them there. So that's not a thing with what we've built here. It's all on chain. It's just encrypted using your keys. Tokenized society, will exclusive content be eligible for Leo voter curation?
Hmm.
No. So I was thinking about that. No. So this is outside of the normal, um, kind of realm of content creation on Hive. So these are when you make a blog post, for example, and by the way, nothing with the creator subscriptions goes to your blog feed. So similar to Threads, this was a major problem for me. Like, there's this social stigma around how many blog posts you can make on Hive. Um, so our workaround for that is that there's containers similar to Shorts, like what we did for Shorts and Threads. There's containers, so none of this stuff actually goes to your main blog feed. So this stuff is all out. Like if you're a taskmaster, for example, and you make 2 to 3 articles a day that are rewarded through the rewards pool, and you don't want to screw that up and mess with it, that's totally fine. When you make a blog post for your subscribers, it doesn't go to your main blog feed. It's a comment underneath a container post, and it's an encrypted comment. So you can get upvotes for it. Like your subscribers can still upvote the article, and you'll see, when you post one, you'll see that there's still an upvote icon there. So your subscribers can still vote your comment, but it doesn't live on your main blog feed, and it doesn't have like the same, auto voting trails and social stigmas around it. Uh, so I don't think bushcraft bites. I don't think you understand exactly what we're talking about. Um, yeah, I don't think you understand what we're talking about. When you do a creator subscription, you're doing encrypted content for your audience. So you don't have to subscribe to anybody if you don't want to either. Um, but yeah, I think this is like a whole other, like Taskmaster obviously is the example I keep using. Like he makes his 2 to 3 articles a day. And then he can also launch a creator subscription, and then he can tell his audience, okay, I'm going to do 2 articles a week or something that are behind the paywall. And perhaps they're going to be higher quality. a longer format, um, you know, maybe some alpha or maybe some more behind the scenes looks at what he's doing, in real life or whatever. Like he can decide with his audience what he wants to give, and give in terms of value. And that's really the key to success with creator subscriptions. So I'm still working on what I'm going to do, but my creator subscription is going to launch, at launch, obviously, with the whole platform. Um, and some of the things that I'm going to offer are like a weekly private AMA. So like a private Zoom call where you guys can jump in the Zoom and talk to me, video to video like this for an hour. So I'll do that once a week. I'm planning on doing at least one, I got to figure out schedule wise what I'm going to do, but at least one long form article per week, to subscribers only. And that article will, have some sort of alpha in it, whether it's related to Leo or broader crypto markets. Maybe I'll show like some of what I'm doing behind the scenes with my portfolio. And then you'll obviously have private threads. So with threads, a lot of times I share screenshots of what we're working on the main threads feed. But when I do that, I'm actually showing things that are pretty far along in the development process. So like if you've been seeing my teasers about creator subscriptions and some of the features around it, those are like pretty far along. Like we're already testing those features, but there's a lot of stuff where it's not even in testing yet. A lot of like the behind the scenes designs that I could show much earlier, but I don't want to show them in the public feeds, too early. That I'm going to start showing in the private threads. So I will start posting threads of features that are like in the design stage before we even reach development. So you'll get kind of an early insider look at some of that, some of that behind the scenes stuff. Tassa just said I will do one long form article per week, but it will be late. Bet it will be late. No, I'm gonna pick a day and do an article a week. I may do something like every Friday or every Monday or something. I'll do a long form article. I'm gonna work on kind of a full list of the things I want to do, but I want to make my creator subscription kind of like a little bit of like a template or like what could be done with it. Kind of like leading from the front. I think I can do a
Yeah.
lot of really cool stuff with a creator subscription. So I've been really brainstorming different things I can do. Um, and then obviously we've got threadcasts. So you'll be able to do subscriber only threadcasts, or you'll be able to sort by subscribers. So for example, during these AMAs, there's going to be a new toggle at the top. And that toggle will let you do subscriber only or all. So you'll be able to sort the threads inside of a threadcast based on if it's subscriber only, only from your subscribers or, just from everybody. So like, for example, during these AMAs, we could have like a certain segment where like only the subscribers' questions get answered. Um, we'll still obviously answer everybody else's questions, but maybe there'll be a segment where we kind of focus a little bit more on the subscribers. There's just so many different things that we can, so many things that we can do with it. It's really just about, up to your imagination.
Fish says, sounds more like a bucket list than like a publishing schedule. Well, if you want to deliver and if you want to stay up to what's the word? To the lead to meet expectations, you have to kind of treat it like that. But yeah, Ahmad Manga on the bright side, Khalil Kasi arrives. Wait, it moved. Arrived closer to the time recently. It's an improvement. Well, yeah, I mean the Suniverse, it's actually converging with the bull cycle, so the times are actually starting to get more on point. Taskmaster, will there be pinning of articles behind the paywall? Hmm.
What does he mean by pinning?
I don't know, like maybe you have the subscription feed and you could pin articles to the top. I mean, it sounds just like a
Um,
basic feed, right?
I'm not sure what you mean by pinning, but I'd need more information.
Like you pin it to the top.
Like just like, okay, yeah. I mean, when pinning goes live, then yeah, um, pin to the top. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, we don't have pinning for regular articles yet. So when we launch that, then yeah, there's going to be pinning because there's essentially on every feed style, you'll be able to pin. So um, you'll be able to go to like your threads profile and you'll be able to pin, whichever favorite threads you have, you can pin those to the top. Your shorts, you can pin your favorite shorts to the top. Blogs, favorite blogs, you can pin to the top. And then on your premium tab, or sorry, your creator subscription tab, you'll be able to pin whatever you want to the top. So you'll be able to pin, private threads to the top or private blog posts to the top. And then when shorts go live, same with that.
Nice. Um, we know that what tasks means is a way for subscribers to track the exclusive content. Yeah, I mean, pinning is a good feature, and as long as when it goes live in the overall platform, it will go live in the separate features. So,
Yep.
like Carl said, just a matter of time. I mean, and you also have to take into account that we're building a platform that in concept can actually compete with any other Web2 social media platform. So, uh, I mean, I know it feels easy to ask, hey, when is this feature going to come? Or when is this update going to go live? And you don't realize that the social media platforms, like the Web2 social media platforms, have a multi-billion dollar budget. So what we're doing here is pretty, I don't know the word, Carl. How do you say bootstrapped and from the ground up? So just take that into account.
Ahmad Mani said,
Ahmad,
I'm confused about which memo key can decode the encrypted comments. INLEO's memo key or my memo key. If it's mine, how can my subscribers decrypt it? Will INLEO have a copy of my memo key? That's actually a great question about how the backend works. So we've actually done this in kind of an interesting way. When you're as a creator, you obviously can decode your own content using your own memo key. And then the second person that can decode your content is INLEO's account. It's called @Leo Subscriptions. So that is the account that actually can decode all the private content. And the reason why it's built that way, there's a couple reasons. One is obviously just user experience and usability. It would be very annoying, and this is the way that other encrypted memo things have worked in the past on Hive, and I find them very annoying and not user friendly. Is that as a user, you would have to punch in your memo key in order to decrypt every single private piece of content. Or, and the other thing is a lot of people have lost their memo keys. I've talked to a lot of people on Hive and people have just thought their memo key is useless and they don't even have it anymore. So there's, a couple aspects there. And then the other one is, when someone is a subscriber of you, we need the ability to, if they are no longer a subscriber, they no longer have access to any of your private content. So we need the ability to add and remove people automatically to the ability to see your private content. So the way we do that is that you actually, when you make a private piece of content, the only two keys that can decrypt it are yours as the author and then INLEO's as the platform. And then when people subscribe to you, the INLEO account is actually allowing them to see it, through their account. But if they, like, let's say that tomorrow they cancel their subscription, the INLEO account immediately revokes their access to see your private content, both past and present. So, uh, great question on how the backend works. It's built to be very user friendly though, and it's also built so that we can immediately revoke and add access. So the other thing is like if someone starts abusing the platform in any way, so let's say that someone subscribes to like Taskmaster and then they start sharing his private content, publicly, we can immediately revoke their access and kind of like ban them from the front end.
Godfish is saying, cool profile picture, by the way. Is it from Split? Yeah, Carl gave a conference in Split, Croatia during Hypefest, and it was me who edited it for him. um, Taskmaster is saying, how many tokens have you added to Hive today so as to feed Leo AI? I don't know what he means.
You mean tokens as in data?
Oh, data.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't fully agree. I mean, I'll steel man a separate point from task that I don't fully agree on the whole tokens thing. I just don't think it's a very understandable thing for the average person. Um,
Yeah, the data from other tokens, you mean?
it's no, it's token that see this is what I mean. I just don't think it's a very understandable thing for people unless you're very deep into the AI stuff. But
Oh, okay.
tokens is just data. So, but I think instead you should just focus on engagement. People understand replying to each other and adding content into threads and whatnot. So, um, Godfish, can people cancel the subscription anytime and are they refunded? No, once you pay, you can't get refunded. If you cancel, it's like any other subscription in the world, really. If you cancel the subscription, it runs out for the next 30 days, and then once the time runs out, then you're done. So, self-help for trolls, will there be auto renew subscriptions? Excuse me. Yeah, so we've built an auto renewal process. Right now it works for Keychain. We're looking into getting it for Hive Signer as well. But obviously you can't do it manually. So it really, if you use Keychain, you'll be able to do an auto renewal off the bat. And you can decide whether or not you want auto renewal enabled. There's like a nice little checkbox when you subscribe to someone. So you can enable or disable auto renewal. And we're also going to be adding that for premium as well. So we built that kind of back end rail and now we can add it for premium. So premium will get that feature as well where you can auto set it to auto renew. The only thing is if you set it to auto renew, you need to make sure you have enough HBD in your account. Kind of like a debit card and like a bank account. Like if you have an auto renewal on, you need to make sure there's enough money in there to maintain it. Godfish, Eric, you could kick off your own photo editing 101 courses behind the paywall.
I actually learned how to code because of InLeo, and I actually learned how to design because of InLeo. So if you're ever just in the need of gaining skills, just send us your CV. Maybe we have a job position for you. No
The one thing
refund
I love
policy.
about INLEO is that we do kind of give a lot of people the ability to just learn different skills. I think that's one of the values of the platform.
Yeah.
Um, Taskmaster asked a good question here, and where are we at? He said, how often are creators paid? Um, is it once a month or as soon as the payment is made? So it's a great question. I'm dropping a screenshot in the Threadcast right now. This is what the dashboard, there's a new tab, well, not tab. There's a new section in the dashboard. So you'll see it in the Threadcast any second now. That section shows how many current subscribers you have. So that's people that are obviously active subscribers of you. It shows your estimated earnings this month, which is just literally your current subscribers times $5. And actually, once there's a small bug where it's not calculating the fee, so it's gonna obviously factor in the fee, when it goes live. Um, so it shows you the estimated earnings for the month based on how many current subscribers you have. And then it shows your lifetime earnings. We're also going to change. It says estimated. It's going to change to just lifetime earnings. So that'll show how much you've earned, throughout the lifetime of creator subscriptions, past and present. And then there's a cash out button to the right of all of that. So we've designed this very similar to the Web 2 platforms. So, I was looking around to Substack and some of these other platforms, and they have like a cash out button where you can cash out, all of your earnings whenever you want. So as soon as you have at least one subscription payment to you, you can immediately cash out. So it's completely up to the subscribers how often they want to, or it's up to the creators how often they want to get paid. So if you want to get paid every day, as long as someone subscribes to you every day, so that there's money there, you can claim it. So you can claim it as soon as there's money to be claimed, essentially. So if you have, let's just say that like every day at least one person is subscribing to you or renewing their payment, you could literally cash out every single day if you want to. And when you cash out, um, it it sends the fee to, you'll see what happens when you cash out, but it'll send you the, let's say the $4.95, and then the 5 cents will get sent to Leo Pool. You'll see it go on chain to the @Leo Pool account. Sabrina just said it looks really nice. My fingers are itching to click the cash out button. Yeah, that's another aspect, is like it kind of gamifies the experience. Like people love to hit like a cash out button, or like a claim rewards button. Like there's a lot of auto claiming on Hive now. But it used to be fun to like go in and claim your rewards. I kind of miss that. Um, so
Yeah.
this gives you kind of more of like yeah, it gives you like a little dopamine. Like now you get to hit cash out, and you can cash that out. And you'll also notice that same cash out feature is on the referral dashboard. The only thing is nobody's actually hit the minimum for referral payments yet. So I've decided to lower that minimum. So I'll talk about that another time, since I want to focus on creator subs. But yeah, we are lowering the minimum for referrals, and then that same cash out button will be on the referrals page. So if you're not referring people in, that's a whole other way for you to earn, that you should be leveraging. Refer in new accounts to INLEO, and then you'll be able to cash that out. As your referrals start to stack up. But yeah, I am going to lower the referral minimum because I think it's just gotten a little too high. Vic Van said the feature is only accessible on INLEO and not other interfaces, please. Yeah, you won't be able to use this across other interfaces just by nature of how encrypted content works, and it would create a major security issue if you could, if that makes sense. So, obviously, like then people would be able to view your content that you don't want them to view it. In theory, I think we could work with other interfaces to integrate this if they want to, but they're going to have to follow some very specific rules for us, and we would immediately, ban their if they abused it in any way. So that's part of the problem.
Yeah. I mean, one
Self-over troll said, I wonder if anyone here would subscribe to me. I'm not as popular as Task. I plan on, as long as people are like providing value or have some reason for the subscription, I plan on subscribing to pretty much everybody. So like if you just launch one to launch one, I'm not going to subscribe to you, but if you launch one and provide some value, then I plan on subscribing. So like Task, I think plans to launch one. I'm going to subscribe. I just saw Simple Game said he's going to launch one, and talk about like behind the scenes of building games on Hive. So I'm going to subscribe to that. Hive Borehole Project, I hope to see them launch one that's a little bit more like a Patreon. And I plan to subscribe to that, which would be like donating to them every month. And then I was talking to Eric, there was a singer at Hive Fest, and I would love to see her start posting like behind the scenes footage, and like maybe she can like I have so many ideas for how people, so this is another thing I said too, but I have so many ideas for how people can use creator subscriptions in order to earn, like different ideas for how to use the service. So one thing I'm going to do is, if you're a subscriber of mine, and you want like one-on-one help of like how to be successful on INLEO, and that goes for like if you need help like coming up with a creator subscription idea, or just how to be successful in general, I'm gonna like do one-on-one help with my audience, through threads on creator subscriptions. So, I think that'll be kind of like a little bit like a mastermind type of thing. So I definitely want to do that. But this singer, she releases blockchain, she releases her music on the blockchain, and I have so many ideas. Like she could do early release, so she could early release certain songs to her creator subscribers. And there's just so many other things. And then behind the scenes of like traveling to different events, what it's like behind the scenes at different events. So I'm just really like I have a list of all the different things that I think someone can use this for, and I just think that that's going to be, like I said, the success of all of this stuff is really up to you guys. I see we have a new user, IG, who said, I'm absolutely impressed by what you built here. Listing on X, kudos to the team. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't seen your username around yet, so welcome to the platform if you're new to INLEO.
Hey, I just noticed that
Definitely
you're
love seeing some
following
new
me.
faces.
Yeah. IG, I just noticed that you're following me.
What's that?
I just noticed that IG is following me on X. I just gave you a follow back. Thank you for joining us, man. Did you just create your account today? And if so, Just leave your feedback on
Eric, I
the
think your audio, I don't
threadcast.
know if it's just me, but your audio cut out for me.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you on Zoom, but I can't hear you on X. I don't know. Okay. Can you guys comment in the threadcast? Can you hear Eric on X? Let me know if it's just me. Tass said, if you have ideas on how to use subscriptions, share them with others. There's no limit to innovation ideas. Yeah, definitely share them.
Yeah, no wonder you cannot hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you on Zoom, but not X.
Yeah.
No, I don't think anyone else can hear you on X. Do you want to just drop out and join again? Yeah, they can't hear you. Adding back. All right, try again.
Yeah, can you hear me? I don't think so.
Try again on X.
Hey, hey, hey.
No, I can't hear you on X.
Yeah. I've
I'm
been,
gonna invite you to co-host. Let's see if that makes a difference.
yes. Can you give me some emojis if you're hearing me, if you're able to hear me?
I hear Eric on YouTube. Yeah, I can hear him through Zoom and YouTube, but not
Yeah.
X.
So weird. My account maybe like I think it's having some issues, my account.
It
I'll let you
sounds
know.
like your mic is like muffled. Do you know? Do you want to check to see if like the source on your phone changed, the audio source?
So weird. Maybe it's the AirPods.
Now I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I can
Nice.
hear you now.
Wow. I have no idea
I
what's going on.
I don't know. It sounded like it sounded like you put the AirPod in the next room because I could hear you like very, very quietly, but not loudly. Everyone comment if you can hear Eric now.
Okay. Can you confirm if you can hear me if I do this? Can you hear me now?
I can still hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so weird. Maybe it's the AirPods. My
Yeah,
son
I don't know.
keeps eating them, so maybe they are just
That's not food.
yeah.
Uh, Tass said the best way to grow subscriptions is to return the 5 HBD by subscribing back to those who follow you, at least in the early stages, presuming they're creating valuable stuff. Yeah, I was actually talking to someone yesterday and thinking about this as well. This adds another aspect to the circular economy that we're building. So, one thing is like, a like I said, a creator needs to be a premium subscriber to INLEO in order to launch a creator subscription. But the thing is, like, if they have at least 2 subscribers, they're going to get enough HBD each month in order to continue their premium subscription. So it actually kind of furthers the whole premium pays for itself model, where like when you're premium and you create blog posts regularly, Leo.voter is voting you and you're earning rewards, and you're most likely earning more than the cost of premium from the Hive rewards pool. And then this adds a whole other aspect where if you're premium, you're creating blog posts regularly, Leo.voter is voting you, you're earning enough to renew your premium. And you also now launch a creator subscription and you have at least 2 people subscribing to you. Now you're literally, I mean, you're earning way more than the cost of your premium, by multiple factors, like from Leo.voter and then also from the people that subscribe to you. So it only takes 2 subscribers to pay for your premium each month. Um, like I said, if you guys launch subscriptions and have some good valuable stuff, then I will be subscribing to you. So I mean that's half the cost of your premium right there. So I hope to see an increase. I think this is going to be an interesting metric. Two interesting KPIs to track are going to be the number of premium subscribers in total to the platform I want to see grow, and then the total number of creator subscriptions that are out there I want to see grow, obviously. But yeah, I think Task is right. And, I know that this is a little bit of a dirty word, but, the whole upvote for upvote or follow for follow, movement on social media. Those were really big things when social media platforms first launched. It's kind of an essential part of network effects in the beginning, in the early stages. So I don't see any problem with, people going out there and like you might DM each other and say, hey, if you subscribe to my creator subscription, I'll subscribe to your creator subscription. It kind of creates a cancel out effect, so to speak, where like you get another creator subscription, but it doesn't really cost you anything. Because that person's subscribing back to you. And it just allows you to continue growing your audience and brand and total subscriber base. So yeah, I think Taskmaster's onto something, and I think that you guys as a community could kind of take that and run with it, um, and kind of subscribe to each other as well. So like, I'll subscribe to a lot of you guys, and then you could subscribe back to me, and then that could kind of proliferate around the platform. Obviously, you need more reasons, but Godfish said you only need 2 subscribers to pay for your premium, not the way to promote it. If you put it this way, many people would label it as a Ponzi scheme and leave. I disagree. I disagree. We're offering tools behind premium, and you have to remember that going premium on INLEO gives you access to extra features and tools. So that's simply an extra tool to monetize your account. Um, so yeah, I don't really agree with that personally. And I especially think that the culture on Hive is very much like if I do this, how much more will I earn? So, that is something that I advertise internally to people that are already on Hive, not to people that are external. I actually think that people who are not on Hive, just generally out there in the world, actually understand the whole idea, the whole concept behind premium much better than people on Hive. I think the culture on Hive is a little tainted in terms of rewards. So you kind of have to frame things in a certain way. Vic Van said InLeo features always on point. Yeah, I agree. I think we're, not only have we made the platform very stable, but we're kind of intensely working on making this kind of circular economy that does very well. Tasker said one of the value of subscriptions is to provide your readers early content. In other words, put up a post and then post it open a few weeks later. Many use Substack for this. Yeah, you can just do early access. Like I said, early access for a musician might be like, okay, I early release my songs a month before they actually come out. Um, Early access for writers might be, hey, I release, this blog post, 2 weeks or 4 weeks before it comes out publicly. And you just get early access to read it before everybody else. People love early access. Like look at like flash pass lines at roller coaster rides. People pay for convenience. It's a very big reason that people pay for things. So if you give people a convenience factor or you give them something faster than other people like that exclusivity. It's like the VIP section. They like that. Sabrina, now I have to go brainstorm valuable stuff to promote on my subscription model. Yeah, I think it's just really about how creative you can get. Hmm. Yeah, well, technically it's all on chain, so you can't really hide it. I have been thinking about a way to do that. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to think about it more. How if you want to hide it, the workaround right now would be you could just spin up a new Hive account or like an alt account and subscribe to someone if you don't want other people to know that you're doing it. But yeah, right now it's all very transparent because it's obviously on a blockchain. So, the one thing about blockchains is transparency. So yeah, right now if you're subscribed to someone, it's going to show up. Um, that being said, I do think that there's got to be a way for us to make it private in the future, especially if people start using it for more NSFW stuff, which I do think is going to happen at some point. So um, I do need to jump off. So if we can just kind of close this out. You have any closing thoughts before we jump off? I can still hear you. I think you're good. Oh, I think I can't hear you on on Zoom now, actually. You're fine on X.
Okay. Am I good
No, I
now?
can hear you on both. Yep, you're good.
Wow. Wow. And I thought I saw a comment here. Nope. Well, closing thoughts. I don't know. It's been a wild ride, and we are almost at the end of the year. We are starting Q4 today, actually. 9 months have passed pretty fast. We went from having what 350 users, 400 users, to having 1,600, 700 last month. So yeah, what we're doing is working, guys. Thank you to the community for doing what you're doing, the free compliments community, Sabrina, Big Van, Manga, all of the people who come every single AMA to keep the vibes up. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I my closing thoughts would just be watch out for creator subs. They're gonna go live today, and then I'll launch mine and I'll talk about what I'm putting in mine. I'll put out a blog post about the content schedule for my creator subscription. I'll try to give you guys a little bit of an example of what that could look like. And then obviously you'll be able to launch it. There's a lot of features in the update. So I did put out a thread and I said, be ready for some bugs. We've been testing it for about a week now, but uh, you know, there's a lot of new features in this, and a lot of new pages, a lot of new elements, a lot of new feeds. So, just be aware that, there's just a lot in this update. So a blog post will go out from the @Leo Finance account when everything goes live, and it'll showcase all the different features and things you can do with it. So look out for that blog post to know when everything's going live. We'll announce it on Discord, and I obviously will make a bunch of threads about it as well. So so yeah, just keep your eyes open for that. And when it goes live, launch a creator subscription, tell your audience what you're gonna put in it. And then if you see, one of your favorite authors on chain, give them a subscription and let's grow things. Obviously a small percent fee goes to buying back Leo. So the more total creator subscriptions that are out there, the more successful the platform is going to be as a whole. So thanks, Sabrina. Thanks to my manga. Have a good one. Thanks, Godfish. Yeah, thanks everybody. We'll see you guys. There's no chain chatter tomorrow, but we will see you guys possibly Thursday for the growth call. I need to talk to Eric about scheduling, but probably going to be good for the growth call on Thursday. So I'll just keep you guys posted on that, but that will most likely be the next time I see you, other than the blog post or creator subscriptions. But yeah, thanks, Eric. Thanks everybody. See you guys
Thank you,
Thursday.
guys.